Well, this doesn't seem like a very good idea, or possibly it's the best idea we've had so far. What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode, you know what, I give up honestly with it. It's episode 9 or 10. I can never remember. I'll explain some stuff here in a second, but I know I left you guys off last week with the lighting problem and told you guys we'd fixed it once Thumper got in here and we could get people. So I'm gonna have Thumper explain to you how we did fix the lighting, or how he fixed the lighting, and he'll kind of go over what he did. And actually, for the most part, I did almost everything right.
So basically you need to sit there and look pretty, smile. Failed.
Thumper actually tapped us into the 12-volt thing we're actually trying to get into originally. That is what those guys are right there. And what happened? You replaced the fuse, and what else? Yeah, he had a spare fuse that he put into that spot. I told you we had a blown one, and from there on it's worked. So we're gonna let him hook this up and we'll get it all tucked in. We're gonna get this piece back up, put those bolts back up, and then we are gonna move on to the very anticipated train horn that was sent in on FanMail. To do that, guys, if you guys don't know what this is a Patreon supported series. I'm gonna sell this Mustang for $10 at the end of this series. If you want to be a part of that series and be able to get the Mustang for $10, you need to be part of the pit crew. I'll leave a Patreon link and on the top of the comment. It'll be a pinned comment. It'll be Patreon. That's how you support. Without supporters, we can't do the series. I can't afford to buy things with my own money, with the amount of money that we're putting into this, just to give someone or sell it to someone. So you guys that are on the Patreon, you guys are the supporters. Thank you so much for your continued support. I'm gonna keep working my ass off with this car and getting cool stuff. So guys, go fund the Patreon. It really does mean a lot to me, and it helps me out with this channel, and it helps me be able to get this car to the level that I want it to be. Back together, you guys see everything, shift knobs in. DRZ, if you can go ahead and hit one of the buttons on that thing, just pick a button, any button. Let's see if this works. Or start with the D. Hey, look at that. So we have lighting in this part and in the other part, and this is currently the little strobing mode I showed you guys before. Then we have the police mode, which is that one. If you're watching epilepsy, stop watching! It's as simple as that fuse. Luckily, we had Thumper to help us out, and it does work with the car off, car on, however you want it. So that's pretty cool to have. It's a pretty cool feature. I know a lot of you guys don't like the lights. However, it's not something you have to use. You can have the lights down there and never turn them on. That's perfectly fine. We have a switch and we have a train horn. The guy that sent me this in FanMail, thank you so much. I don't remember who it was. I would have to go back in FanMail. It got sent in a FanMail video, and we're definitely putting it in this Mustang. This package was cut open, so that's kind of concerning a little bit. But there is instructions in here. I believe that's what this is. Neither one of us, no one has wired one up before. However, it's pretty simple. You have the little air hose and the horns, if you will, or I guess what we call it, air horns. And then I think this is some mounting software, hardware. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Thumper, is this a relay? Yeah, I knew that. Come on, bro. A wiring scheme. However, it's pretty obvious where some of this stuff has to go. As far as this one goes, this hose just connects onto the air pump. I guess it's a compressor or air pump, what's the proper name to it. That then goes onto this, I guess, Y. I don't know exactly. It's a Y connector, and it basically turns this hose into two for both of the little horns, and it's actually got these little those, and it basically makes it so the hose doesn't come out. We'll have to look in there, and it's not hard, but you do have to kind of know the inside of the vehicle a little bit and know where you're gonna wire that horn, because we have a horn switch there and everything else. So it'll take a second, but we'll get it down. Technical stuff coming in here. Thumper, what are you doing?
I can't read this.
You can't read that diagram? So you're just kind of making it simpler.
Or all the Spanish.
So you can't understand the Shime de Montiago con Botini de Comando el Pastivio Shimo de Mate. Are they repeating here? What is happening right now?
bit of Spanish.
You speak some Mexican.
It's Spanish! One thing we don't have, guys, for this is the little connectors that go on the end of this. So like normally you'd crimp a wire in, we're trying to get this focused, and you'd connect it to the relay. However, we don't have those connectors. So what we're gonna do on this episode is kind of just raw connect it with some wire. And when we raw connect it with some wire, we're just gonna get it to know that it works with the relay and stuff. And then what we'll do is on the next episode when we have the connectors, we'll just go in there and put the connectors on and plug it back in. But this episode, we're getting this thing operational and it's gonna go bonk. Or at least beep. That'd be really disappointing if it was that loud, I'm not gonna lie. The good news, bad news, this relay is a piece of what?
Shit.
Okay, yeah, so it doesn't work. You're gonna go pick us up a good one. You're gonna grab us a good one, you said? You can get a good one? So he's gonna grab a good one, but it is time to test the one and the only. Wait, do you have both plugged up?
Yeah.
Oh God, okay, wait for it. Wait for it. Good. Oh God, no, my ears, did those both go?
Yep.
Holy crap, I had my ears plugged and that was loud. One more time. What's not working? Oh God, son of a Jesus. All right, so it's loud. It's either, that's kind of what our like makeshift setup right now. That was to kind of get it working, to make sure it does work and everything. It is something we want to do. Absolutely something we do. However, we are missing some components. We are gonna get a different relay that will actually work and be worth a shit, including better speaker wire, even though this stuff is good, but get better wire, including, and tubing. Is gonna get, what?
Pretty hoses.
Pretty hoses, yeah, pretty cool.
Comment below what color.
Yeah, comment below what color, even though we'll have the color before you. That will work, that is going to happen, and we'll get that put into here, and we'll figure everything else out. And I will see you guys later in the weekend. Welcome to day 2 of this Maroon Car Revival episode. Today, I showed you guys we did the train horn. Unfortunately, that's not even going to be on next episode either because I am actually going out of town to Georgia. So there actually will, I'm going to have to pre-record an episode without Thumper and DRZ. So we will not have all the cool stuff and whatnot for the train horn to get it in. But we showed you guys how it's going to work and it's going to be easy to mount it. Mounting it is going to be simple. We need another relay. But we are fixing this, guys. We talked about this in the first episode. Here and there is we assume that someone tried to break into this thing a long time ago, and we're also the trunk ajar button or sensor is tripping because there's nothing here. There's actually supposed to be a big black thing here, and that's what we're actually going to replace and actually put on. There's supposed to be a light bulb as well. So the entire assembly is missing here. So I got this box over here with the parts in there, and we're gonna try to clean this up and get this all fixed. I showed you guys earlier in this episode, we have this wire which goes to the actual light. It's frayed and destroyed and just not at all in good shape. This is also the trunk sensor wire right here, which has clearly been cut off. So we're gonna have to figure out which one's power. This one's typically power, black is typically ground. We then have the plunger, which is the sensor to make it so where the trunk ajar thing no longer comes on. And we also have a new wire sensor that plugs into this from Ford, and we're gonna wire that up into these two. And then after we get that, that will bolt on this bolt right here, hanging like this. And then we have this full compartment thing, which has a light in it, which will attach to this guy after we clean it up. And then eventually there is a big carpet thing we can put on this. But right now we need to get these sensors working, and we need the trunk ajar thing to stop going off. both of these wires are green on this connector and there's no indication what is ground and or what is power, what I'm gonna have to do is take a multimeter and stick it inside of the prongs here, and if I'm getting the voltage that I should be getting, then I know that we're on the right spot. If I'm not getting anything, all we have to do is switch this green wire to over here and that green wire to over here. So before I splice anything, we're gonna check it with a multimeter to make sure that we're getting the voltage that we need. The voltage reading, that should be good. It's not at 12 volts, which I'm not sure if it's required to be at that, or, but we are getting 9 volts from it, which if it was on the wrong spot, you wouldn't get any volts at all. Correct me if I'm wrong. I guess I'll figure it out. But we'll go ahead now and splice in these wires to each other, and then this will directly connect to our sensor up here, which just turns off the sensor when the trunk's closed. What I'm gonna do before we splice this, I'm actually gonna plug this in up here and then go check the trunk jar sensor when I push this down and or in. So we're actually gonna try that first, just as another level of certainty that this is working. Upon inspection here, I guess either the prior owner and or dash hub thought, I guess electrical tape was some kind of, I guess, or they thought duct tape was some type of electrical tape. So I'm currently trying to get all this electrical tape off, duct tape off. It's really sticky, so it's hard. And we have probably the world's worst, I don't even know what you want to call this. It's pretty bad. And that is actually connected to this as well, which is the sensor. So what I'm going to do is, I guess, cut this and then try to put it in their own connector here. So I guess I'd connect 3 sides into one, I suppose, is what we're looking at here. But this is pretty rough electrical work back here, folks. This is nothing that's pleasant, I can tell you that. I have all 3 wires kind of spliced into this one side, or not spliced, but kind of combined into one side. And what we're gonna have to do is take a bigger connector, probably this little yellow one we have in here, and crimp that side like this, and then put it to the other big side, which is this right here. So I don't know if that wiring was done from factory. I really hope not. I can't expect it was. But that was pretty awful, especially for the fact that there was duct tape used. But we are fixing this and properly wiring this. Shout out to Thumper. Even though you're not here, you are literally this episode's savior with all of your electrical tools that you left in my house. And look at that, we do have light. So there is officially a light in the trunk thing back now. You guys can see that. So we're gonna kind of get this all thrown together like so. Get this through here, put the guy in here, and then these are just push clamps. And this actually, there's one other part we have to buy. It's really cheap though. It's just the, if you try to throw a kid in the back of your trunk, don't do that, by the way. It's that safety release thing that comes through here. I'm actually gonna pull it through so we have it. And we just have to buy one of the little thingies. That'll be like $2. Just one of the little plastic yellow things that will go through it. Got that fitted up, and there are push clamps. There's one, and the second one, and there we go. See it on my angle. That is a cleaned up wired area. Everything is properly wired, properly crimped, and put in there beautifully with a new latch, the new plunger that goes right there. And like I said, this is one of those safety release things that we'll have to get a thing for. Unfortunately, I got all the wires plugged in correctly. I showed you guys a second ago. However, I'm still getting a trunk jar warning. Now I did that because I closed that in, that's why that locked, but I'm still getting a trunk ajar. Now I tried having Amber sit in there and turn on the keys, and I held this plunger in like so, because the plunger would hit down here. Something's telling me I'm missing something along this. I feel like I am definitely, there's a bunch of components down here and stuff, so I do feel like I am missing something else that is not on the car. And For example, like this, I think is the license plate lights, but I do feel like there is another sensor not connected or something is messed up wired. So when we get back here, we're gonna have to really look into stuff. And this will be the major guy right here, because this is what actually connects to the all the stuff. That's what runs in this. So, but everything is connected in here, and I think what we're gonna have to do is wait for Thumper to be here next week. Like I said, I feel like something is supposed to go right here. So is there anyone that has a 05, I think, to 09 Mustang? If you want to help me out and tell me if there is a piece that goes right here. I feel like there's something supposed to be right here, and it's not latching this. And everything is correct up here. So, and the light even works too. So I guess we'll figure it out on another episode. In the end, I did get that wired. So I got that wired properly. Everything works. Just the sensor is not. It's not stopped tripping, it keeps tripping. So, and like I said, when I have Thumper over here in 2 weeks, I'll have him take a look at it. He knows a little bit more about electronics. Maybe he'll see that one of the wires aren't supposed to be spliced in that spot because it's a running wire, who knows. But we'll work on that. That is it for this episode of Ruined Car Revival. I want to thank all of you guys. This succession through this Mustang is should mean a lot to you guys, because this could be your Mustang. This could be yours. So you seeing me do the wiring properly and doing everything else properly, that's big, because this could be absolutely your Mustang. So remember that if you are part of the pit crew. Everything I do on this, I'm doing for you, because you're going to get this car eventually. So we're going to continue on that. The support as it picks up, as we get more support on the pit crew, I'll be able to do more things. I told you guys, the more support we get on the pit crew, the more dramatic this car changes. Right now, I think we're sitting at about $900 something an episode. I only get about half of that, if even, probably only a fourth of that. So I am trying to tread water right now with as much stuff as we can. I have a crap ton of stuff in there right now. I'm actually about to record another episode of Ruined Car Revival, because I will be in Georgia. It'll be a pre-recorded one, so next week's is actually already revealed. If you are part of the pit crew, I'm going to release the episode early. You guys are gonna see it probably in the weekend, probably on Saturday, this upcoming, the new one coming up. You guys are gonna see that one probably Saturday before everybody else. I'll release it to you guys only. And like I said, because I don't already have it done. Forward to that, but for this episode, that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We did some successful things on this one. We got the lights fixed. That was a big one. So the LEDs now officially work in the car. We also got the trunk fixed, and we showed off that the train horn is capable of working. It's major, because this thing's like $16. However, Thumper is getting more hose, like blue hose instead of this. I'm also getting a good relay that isn't a piece of junk, and longer wire. And once we do that, it will be put in the grill area down here, wiring it up. And then, you know, we'll put the switch, which we have right here. We'll wire that into the bay of the car by the steering wheel, so you can press it at any time. But we got it working. It does work. That is going to be the Mustang. That's going to be freaking awesome. Guys, I'll see you guys on Wednesday for a video. And if you don't watch any video about Ruined Car Revival, I'll see you guys on, well, Monday. Or if you're part of the pit crew, I'll see you on Saturday. Take it easy, guys, and later.